Hello, how's everyone doing? It's Chris and I'm back today with a brand new series of mine, and I've actually brought out a couple of new series recently, my career mode series and also my rant series, which actually has got 12 likes and a few comments on it, so I'm really happy about that, and thank you guys. And then another episode will be up in a few days time, but with this series, it's actually going to be about helping you get better at Call of Duty. This was recommended by a couple of my subscribers, and I've been thinking, well, may as well help get you better at Call of Duty. And this was like a gameplay. This was my first game on my other account because I've been playing combat training on it, and this is going to be an account which I use for clan ops, so that's why I've got a different name. That's why it's called YT Woolly Sheep 1000. And so basically with this series I'm going to be helping you become increasingly better Call of Duty player, and I can now say really that I am a pretty decent Call of Duty player. I've got a 3.03 KD on Black Ops 2, I had a 2.5 KD on Modern Warfare 3, I had a, I can't remember, on Black Ops 2.2 I think on Black Ops, and I started off on COD 3, so I'm a pretty experienced Call of Duty player. I've been playing it very long time, so I guess you could, well, it's one of the best places to get tips and tricks off of. But basically this episode, this is going to be about my custom classes and what you need to do to make yourself a better Call of Duty player, as in not exactly the gameplay, but how you're going to approach the gameplay with the different guns and classes suited for the assault rifles and the SMGs. And there's it says I show my favourite class and my favourite setup on a couple of different guns, including the PDW that I'm using currently right now. But this was actually an interesting gameplay, to say the least, because these guys were absolutely useless, and I get my VTOL warship. But really, I don't know what makes me a really good Call of Duty player. I guess playing smart is probably the most important thing to do. But I'll get into that in another episode, and how you want to actually play the game, and depending on what map you want to be playing, you just need to be smart about it. Just stay smart and keep your keep your wits open just in case, and you need to tone in your reactions, just because if you have good reaction times, you're always going to win that gunfight a split second earlier. It's going to save you a lot of time. So just tone in your reactions, and it also helps you in real life, strangely enough. But anyway, here is my creator classes, and as you'll see, I'll show you my stats I believe in a second. And here, as you'll see, is a 3.03 KD with 22,000 kills on Prestige 8, level 40 something I believe, 42 I think. And as you see, I've got Nuclear and Ultra Killer, and they're all legit obviously, with 546 score per minute, so that's actually reasonably good. And I've also got like a 1.9 win loss, because I do play quite a lot of like objective game modes like domination and hardpoint, so I don't always win them. But strangely enough, my kill confirms only a 1.6 KD ratio. I don't know how. Maybe it's because I rage quit quite a lot at the start. Just, I don't know why personally. But first we're going to get into some classes, and this is just going to, my first class is going to be a assault rifle class, which is going to be unlocked really early on for you. You unlock it at level 4, but then you'll need the attachments to unlock with it. But firstly, if you've already run or bought the prestige token, you'll want to be running Ghost. And then also with your wildcards, you need to get perk 1 greed with hardline. Sometimes it's good to run flak jacket on certain classes, dependent on like the map and things like that. But then you can either run toughness or scavenger. If you're the type of player who's going to be alive for a long time, I recommend scavenger. But if you're the rusher, if that makes any sense, if you kind of rush a lot, you probably be best suited to toughness. So that's also a great perk. But I personally prefer scavenger, because I like running my higher kill streaks and things like that. Perk 3 is actually out of personal preference. I prefer engineer over tactical mask, dexterity and the others, but just because engineer, you can see those shock charges and stuff, and they are so annoying. And also you can hack things and make them explode like the care packages, so that's also really cool. But I tend to take off my like grenades and stuff depending on what type of class I'm actually running. But with the attachments on the typical assault rifle, like the MTAR I think we're doing at the moment, and basically I tend to run suppressor and stock, just because it's an absolutely great setup, because with stock you're able to like strafe really easily, and with suppressor you're just able to move about behind the enemy lines without them really knowing that you're there. And also you want to be with another assault rifle, which is the certain not AN94, the F and FAL well, not the effing FAL. It's now called the FAL OSW. If you didn't know, well, that's actually that's probably my favourite gun in the game. I don't use it as much as like the MSMC. I don't actually know why, but many people use the FAL, and it's so OP. So I really recommend you using it. But as you see here, I'm just showing you scavenger and toughness is really great, like, combination. And if you actually want to run, you can actually run the pair of them if you haven't unlocked Ghost or whatever. But here is just the typical SMG. So that first SMG, which most people use, which, well, not most people, but a lot of the time people use the PDW-57, and as you see there, it's the same setup, but I tend to run toughness over scavenger on the PDW. It's all out of personal preference, really, as I've already said before. But with toughness, I tend to rush with the PDW and the MSMC quite a lot, so I tend to need it more than with the assault rifle, if that makes any sense. But I run suppressor and extended mags on the submachine gun. I don't feel the need to run stock, as you're not going to be as like strafing, because the strafe on the SMG is so much faster than on the assault rifle and all the other LMGs and things like that. So it's much better with that, and you don't have to have the need to run it. And also, I tend to run C4 and Black Hat on my ones, as I don't need anything, but I also run toughness and scavenger, so there's not the need to having to pick up guns, just the guns. And also here, I'm just showing you my favourite class on the game, and it's going to be the FAL OSW. It's an absolutely amazing gun. I thoroughly enforce you to try that out. Suppressor is a need on literally every single gun in this game, so you can just get around. Some people say that it decreases the the damage on the gun, but I disagree with that. I find it just exactly the same.